is returning to the Constitution, returning to existing law, which is not to say you agree about the interpretation, but it's rooted in law. And what makes us unique, if you want to use that word, is that we are a country of law. That no one is supposed to be above the law, be it president or citizen. And so the Founding Fathers were very clear in terms of where they thought power should rest. These are not random in terms of the order. The Founding Fathers firmly believed that the legislature would be the dominant policy-making body. Now you might be thinking today, really? All right? But number one is number one for a reason, and it has the most words. And as you move from Article 1 on the legislature, Article 2 the executive, Article 3, the sections get smaller and smaller and smaller. So Article 3 is going down to like 4 paragraphs. It's puny compared to what's in Article 1. So we clearly look to early Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke to do something rather radical in that power to govern was going to derive from the people. This idea that in a state of nature, your rights exist prior to entering into civilization. That was a pretty radical idea for that point. Okay, that the power to govern, the rights that we have, it pre-existed civilization, and therefore it's only by deciding that we're going to come out of this state of nature and we're going to give up a little bit of our sovereignty so that our rights may be protected, but we always retain, under this theory, the idea that the power can be taken back. And that was radical for the time period, given what Europe had been experiencing. And so in a certain sense, we were the first to sort of begin this great experiment. Now, we talk about sort of our democracy, but it's always important to remember that what the Founding Fathers created was a republic. We've made it more democratic over time. But in essence, it's still a republic. It's still a representative form of government. The Founding Fathers had clear goals in mind as they structured this Constitution. And I tell my students all the time, if you call up your grandparent in Florida and they're screaming at the television because they're frustrated with what they're seeing, I always tell them to come back and make sure you explain to them what the goal was for the Founding Fathers. They were not trying to create a democracy. Nowhere in the Constitution does the word democracy even appear. What they were trying to create was a republic, a limited form of government, all right, derived from popular sovereignty. And I think that's important to remember. And I'll talk about it in a minute in more detail.